Hi there, my name's Ali. I'm reporting for aviationmedia.net. We're here at the 2011 Avalon International Airshow. I'm standing here with Todd Kiernan from Heliflight, based out of Sydney, and we're standing in front of Robinson R66, one of the very first of the machines in the country. So Todd, tell us a little bit about the specs of the aircraft. Give us a rundown: power, speed, endurance, etc.
Okay, well, it's a turbine engine, as you can see, compared to the 44 and the 22, so it's a completely new engine. Rolls-Royce have purposely built an engine for this aircraft. Cruises around 120 comfortably. The V&E, the top speed is 140. It'll pull 584 kilo guys and full fuel and still do it. So in comparison to the 206 and the 120, it'll outrun, outrange and outlift. As you can see, the visibility of the aircraft is in keeping with the 44 and the 22. However, the window line has been dropped down, so for greater vis. The seats have been modified slightly for crash airworthiness. There's a lot of testing on in the States for that. And it's been very much anticipated by Australia because we're expecting it a lot sooner, but they've had to put it through rigorous tests of it being a new aircraft. And finally we see it here at the Airshow, so we're very excited about it.
That's great. Well, speaking of the anticipation, what has the response been here, out of your showroom, and particularly at the Airshow as well? Have you had a great response?
Yes, it has. It hasn't had anything negative as of yet. There are a few cosmetic things that people would like to change maybe, but that's really personal taste.
What are the cosmetic things that you're talking of? What have people commented on?
Well, the avionics setup inside there, people always want obviously their own GPS and their own radio setups. The aircraft comes with equipped with a good radio system. However, people like to put their own systems inside. So, yeah, it's just personal touches really. That's all it is. It comes standard with leather, the HID high intensity lights, an audio panel that you can put more radios in and add to it, a music system inside. So really not anything negative, it's just people's personal touches really that they want to change. So
okay, understood. Well, and talking of people's interest and anticipation and things, what has been the response to the price? So I think I saw on the windscreen there it's priced at $850,000 US plus GST. Has anyone commented on the price in comparison to, say, the 206 or the 120?
Yeah, certainly it's listed at $825 flyaway price, this one, plus GST, that's US, and of course the dollar now is making a huge difference. It's great for the Aussies to get in there while it's affordable. In comparison with the 120, it's obviously a lot less, but you're looking at a 120, a different machine. Cosmetically, obviously, there's hardly any the similarities there. They're a much different machine, a corporate machine. However, for the job that the aircraft does, the speed, the endurance, and certainly the affordability, they're no longer making jet rangers now, so the next belly you can buy is a long ranger, and in comparison to that, obviously the seating configuration is different, but very affordable, and with the dollar the way it is, the Aussie dollar, now's the time to buy them.
Okay, so Todd, tell me, in terms of pilot training, pilots that have been flying on the 22 or the 44, in terms of transitioning over to the 66, what can pilots expect? Will it be a big transition, or has Robinson sort of made things quite similar?
No, Frank and Frank's son, have made it very, very simple to transition from the 44 to the 66. Obviously, there's a difference in turbine rating, so the pilots that come to had never flown a turbine before will have some differences, and they'll have to do a few more hours in it to learn to fly it for their endorsement. However, he has simplified it so much so that it's really pretty difficult to get wrong. Also in the configuration in the panel, you'll see it looks very, very similar to a Robinson R44 and indeed the 22. And a pilot jumping into this that has a bit of turbine experience will find it very, very simple to fly, especially the start procedure in it, and the layout of the dash is very, very simplified and nice and neat, really. So there shouldn't really be a problem for pilots transitioning from previous turbine experience from 44 to a 66. Very simple, and indeed for pilots who have had no turbine experience, again, it will be very, very simple.
And just for the pilots out there that are interested in possibly getting endorsed on this aircraft, just give us a rundown on what the endorsement hours and training requirements are.
Basically, a CASA endorsement for a turbine, initial turbine rating is 5 hours. That's your minimum requirement. However, if you've got a turbine rating before, it's again 3 hours, and every subsequent rating after that is 3 hours. So not a great deal. Basic handling, looking over the machine, learning how to pre-flight, the characteristics of the aircraft and a few emergencies, and I'm happy to do those with people.
Yeah. So you believe this is the new kid on the block, the one thing with its size, its price, etc., you think is going to take over the market?
I do think that Robinson are keeping their trend in leading helicopter sales, and I think this will sell very well, and I'm hoping so, and having to sell them myself. So
Yeah, well, best of luck with it. I hope it all goes well. One thing that I want to know is, does it come in red, and does that make it go faster?
Well, actually, yes and yes, it does. I've just sold a new red machine, the same colours as the Robinson 22 you see over here, so red with a sand stripe through, and absolutely, of course it goes faster, and the chicks love it.
Oh, well, clearly. So you heard it here first on aviationmedia.net. Red really does go faster. Thanks, podcasters. We'll see you soon.